Hello everyone, you're here with me, Jen the Taxidermy Witch, and I'm finally doing my reveal because the deck is done. Basically all that's left is just some of the glue is drying on parts of this and parts of this. So here we go, Gabby. Before I start and reveal this deck, I want to talk about a little bit about what I do. My Etsy's below in the description, as well as the Patreon if you want to support the channel for as little as $1 to $5 a month. And you get exclusive videos with the Patreon. Depending on what tier you're at, you get other benefits, but no matter what tier you're at, you get exclusive videos. I started doing Patreon videos again yesterday. After this live stream, I'm going to do another Patreon video, so you have time to sign up, and as soon as you sign up, you get all the other old videos. I think there's about 14 of them. So here we go. On my Etsy shop, I create one-of-a-kind oracle decks that are made just for you. They're usually about $100. Sometimes they're a little less, sometimes they're a little more, depending on what kind of case we put them in. And I try to put my oracle decks in really interesting cases. This one is in an old 1940s or 1950s vintage powder puff. So this is what was in there, and it had powder in so that you could powder your face, alright? What I wanted to do was mimic that within the cards, so I made the cards into this very, very glittery shiny. It doesn't show up very well. There we go. So very glittery to kind of match that powder puff. Now, this is not a tarot or an oracle deck. This is actually a self-love deck, so we put it in a case that has a mirror. So, hey Gabby, I'm glad that you're here. So that when she, the explanation is in the book that I wrote. But when she reads each card, they will be spoken in the law of attraction, and they are self-loving positive affirmations. And so I will go ahead and read you. We'll start by reading the book. But she just told me to use my creative intuition, and she didn't pick a certain topic. The only topic that Gabby picked was self-love. Gabby is here, and she goes by the other realm. So that's Gabby. And hello to everybody who's here. I'm not going to be able to read comments because I'm doing this, but please talk within yourselves, and I think we'll do another live stream today as well as Patreon videos. I'm on a video kick. I have a lot of good ideas for the day, so here we go. Here's the little booklet that I've made myself. I stitch it with like needle and embroidery thread. This is the front. It says Self-Loving Positive Affirmation and Law of Attraction Deck, one of a kind, handmade for Gabby by Jen the Taxidermy Witch. And then on the back, I have like some vintage pictures taken from an old 1947 Life magazine. I just cut that out. It says, Gabby attracts positive vibrations exclusively. And then I've put some symbols over here on the side, as well as saying what month and year. I made this one-of-a-kind deck. Okay, so let's start. The cards go in no particular order, but when you read them, you should be looking into the mirror. So perhaps, Gabby, you might want to put this up on like a little pedestal so that as you read these cards, you're looking into the mirror. Alright, so we will start, and they go in no particular order, right? So here's just one of the cards. So on one side it has a picture, and on the other side it has stamped words. You should be looking into the mirror and saying these words while you're looking into your own eyeballs. And so I need to read you the book. How to use this deck. Now this part is handwritten. This deck can be used a few ways. This is the first way. Open the mirror box and remove the cards. Okay, let's do that. Open the mirror box and remove the cards. And so at this point we'll be looking in the mirror, talking to ourselves, okay? But like I say, it doesn't lean back far enough, so you'll want to put it on a pedestal when you read it, Gabby. So now we've done what the book says. The book says, open the mirror box, remove the cards. Look into the mirror, and as you read each card, you'll read your card to your true self. We can talk to our true self by looking at the mirror and making eye contact with yourself while saying phrases. Each phrase is written as though it's already happened in the law of attraction. By repeating these things aloud, so like by reading these cards or repeating these affirmations aloud as much as possible, daily or a few times per week, will change your vibration with the universe. Once this vibration is changed, you will start to receive these self-loving, positive energies from the universe. That's just how it works. And this goes back to the thing where we say, I can never get anything done on a Sunday. Well, if you say that, that's the vibration the universe knows to give you, and then you'll never get anything done on a Sunday. So if you start saying these things to yourself instead, this is how that changes your vibration. And the things you think as well. So when you start thinking negatively, you need to, nip that in the bud as soon as possible and just make it a positive thought. So just catch it as soon as you can. If you read, you can read this like a few a day of your favorites each day. You can read the whole pack each day. You can do it as often as you like. But the more you do it, the higher your vibration will raise to that positive grabbing vibration. Your life will start to change positively immediately. And then this is way number 2. You can use this deck as an intuitive oracle deck by pulling like a 3-card pull, or however you like to pull your cards, and then reading them intuitively. So let's say, for instance, we pull we might pull these 3 cards in the morning, and you could do any kind of read you like. I mean, you could pull 1 card a day and just do an intuitive read, but when we mix them up and we pull different cards for each day, you can kind of do a quick oracle read in the morning. So you can use it that way, and here's what the book says. The third way of using this deck, and if you make up your own way, that's fantastic, but the third way of using this deck would be to, you could use it as a fun game for a friend in need. If you have a super negative friend or a super depressed friend, you can have them just read all 42 cards and see if it helps. Or you can have them read just a couple of the cards and see if they get a laugh from it or a smile. And then the last, I think 8 or 9 pages is all for notes. And I put a part with the date and put a part for her notes so she can just write notes. And then on the very last page, like I said, it says Gabby attracts positive vibrations exclusively. So, I think it will be interesting for her to note down and see, like, how is your day changing? Is anything getting better? How is it getting better? What did you do this morning? Did you read all 42 cards? Did you read 3? Did you do an oracle read? The notes in the back is really a fun part of that. So, as you look into the mirror, you will say each one. So we'll start. This one. A lot of these are cut from 60s Playboys and old Life magazines from the 40s and 50s, and my other source was Family Circle from the 40s, 50s, and 60s. So this card says, I keep one eye open. The truth is not something to hide from. Okay? These are all written in Law of Attraction. This is a fun one. Do you see her head down there? I took her head off and I put it down here by her foot so it looks like she's kicking it. I practice intuition before logic as a rule. Always trust your gut. Okay? I think we have 42 cards here. This one says, I am a mother and a teacher to all in life in my path who are in need. This one says, my future is brighter than the stars in the winter night sky and twice as magnificent. And it has a woman looking in the direction where you would be looking ahead, to the right. This is an old bedspread in black and white. It looks really good on this sparkly card. It's hard to really get that. Circle decks are fun. When my body needs rest, I always listen. It's the astral plane calling us back to recharge. Okay. Cleansing the body, cleansing both inside and outside of the body are of the utmost importance to me. And it has a woman doing laundry. Alright, this is a blindfolded woman. It says, I know the blindfold is a tool for the weak, the close-minded, and the stubborn. Welcome, Tracy. Just discovered me yesterday. Welcome to the family. And you saw you touched your She says, "Hi Jen, just discovered you yesterday and you touched my spirit since I'm so new to hoodoo." Well, welcome. I'll try and get more hoodoo videos done. But I always use the hoodoo spirit because I really have no income. Very, very, very little income, about $100 to $200 a month. So I use food dehydrators to dehydrate all my supplies. So I'll make the next video I do today after this a what's in my dehydrator video, and we'll just make it hoodoo geared, you know, like collecting hoodoo supplies from your kitchen. Alright, welcome to the channel though. This is a picture of a Gerber baby, okay? And it says, "I give patience to the children of our future." I give patience to the children of our future. Hi Katie, or excuse me Kitty, happy Mabon, welcome. Alright, this is a bunch of clocks, and the card says, "I organize plenty of time for all the fun shit I've always wanted to do." I organize plenty of time for all the fun shit I've always wanted to do. You know, these things are important. And I don't think most of us do that, and that's why I put this card in here, and it's written in the Law of Attraction, so that when you say that, you will therefore end up doing it. Alright? This is a picture of old Art Linkletter. He used to do the old Kids Say the Darndest Things. That's one of my favorite shows. It says, "I am an intellectual. I ponder, therefore I am." Self-love, positive affirmation, and law of attraction deck. One of a kind, made for Gabby. Alright, this lady is looking up up past her glasses, and it says, "When I can't handle, I look to my spirit guides." When I can't handle, I look to my spirit guides. Ooh, this is a good one. This is a picture of the Playboy Mansion. But I liked how it was reflecting in the water. And it says, "I reflect on my past to learn and create the future of my dreams." I reflect on my past to learn and create the future of my dreams. This is a bunch of like Roman statues in a museum or something. And it says, "I am proud. I stand tall like statue." I am proud. I stand tall like statue. This is a picture of an old book. Oh, right. You see the picture. I see the words. I journal to hear my true self speak and to reflect. I journal to hear my true self speak and to reflect. Nothing is shocking, and I know absolutely anything is possible. Thank you, Kitty. How's your deck going? You've got the vintage food deck, which I'm waiting to make somebody else one, and I have all the supplies. Nothing is shocking, and I know absolutely anything is possible. I think that these kind of decks will go really good. Like, I think they're good for everybody, so I'm excited to make another one for someone. This one I cut out of an old 1965 book of children's stories, and it had Alice in Wonderland and Pinocchio. Remember I made the Alice in Wonderland deck, and it's a circle deck. This is Pinocchio, and the card says, "Telling lies. It's not for me. It is for the birds." Telling lies. Sorry for that. Okay, this one is a woman who is serving some, like, she has a teapot in her hand and a teacup or a coffee cup, and she's filling it up. And it says, "Drinking herbal tea with magical intent is how I stay well." Drinking herbal tea with magical intent is how I stay well. You know, and they all fit right inside here. It's just so cute. I should actually put them back in there. Now this one is just if you look at it from afar, you can kind of see it's a scribble drawing of a face, and it's by a famous artist in the 60s. I didn't get the name. And it says, "Art is therapy, both viewing and creating." Art is therapy, both viewing and creating. Um, I think looking at art and trying to get your brain to go there, especially looking at like Salvador Dali stuff or even some simple scribble stuff by just a young artist. And also creating. I'm a big fan of, creating art, obviously. Now this is a picture that is of some oranges, and it says, "The bright and uplifting scent of citrus brings me immediate happiness." The bright and uplifting scent of citrus brings me immediate happiness. They're all stamped kind of differently on the back. I love this one. These hands. It's from an old dish soap ad. And I think that was from Family Circle. Family Circle. It says, "My hands are the translator of my heart's song." My hands are the translator of my heart's song. And what I mean by that is if you are an artist, like we were talking about this art therapy card over here, if you are an artist, you know that how, if we were to lose our hands, how would we get our art out, or if we were to lose our speech, if we're a singer. But for me, a creator, our hands. Okay, this one is really kind of quite funny. It's a loaf of white bread, and it was just like a white bread ad. "There is nothing boring about me. I make every aspect of myself completely unique." There is nothing boring about me. I make every aspect of myself completely unique. Hey, Comedic Witchcraft, how are you? Welcome, Zabora. We're revealing the Self-Loving Positive Affirmation and Law of Attraction deck. It's turned out magnificently. So you say these things as you look into the mirror. They're stamped on the back. "I often look at my own shelf of books, reflect on old passions, and reinvent my lost love affairs." I often look at my own shelf of books, reflect on old passions, and reinvent my lost love affair. And what I mean by that is like, you know how we get a passion for something and maybe we don't follow through, or it's something we kind of drifted from. Now go back and maybe like, can you rekindle that flame? That's what I'm talking about there. Okay, this one I have to edit. No, there might be one other nude, but this is just a cartoon. Sorry about that, y'all. Okay, so this is an old Playboy comic, and of course the woman is topless. And it says, "I embrace duality, masculine and feminine, good, evil, positive, negative." So, I embrace duality, masculine and feminine, good and evil, positive and negative. Okay, this is some people that are on a train and they are being served some dinner. And it says, "I know I need no coin to travel. Meditation and visualization are our gifts." Okay. I know I need no coin to travel. Meditation and visualization are our gifts. This one was like a magician type of ad. And it says, "I have a real signature to my style, which draws the type of friends my life needs." And I'm talking about the mustache, "I have a real signature to my style, which draws the type of friends my life needs." So if you don't have your own signature yet, now is the time to get that signature. Okay, here we go. This is a picture of a painted woman, and she's smoking a long cigarette like Cruella de Vil. And it says, "I own control of my habits and vices. I can quit anytime I choose." They will help mentally, absolutely. They will definitely help mentally. I own control of my habits and vices. I can quit anytime I choose. Now remember, coffee, too much tea, too much of anything is a habit or a vice. Food, it doesn't have to be smoking, but it certainly a lot of the time is. I'm going to say this one last time. I own control of my habits and vices, and I can quit anytime I choose. Next, this one might be hard to make out, but it's a black and white couple, and they're just kind of canoodling in the back of a van or limousine or something. And it says, I find passion in nature and within her offerings. I find passion in nature and within her offerings. Good. I'm glad that it'll help you with your caffeine addiction. Alright, a woman in a convertible with the top down, and she looks like she is having fun. Sometimes I allow others to take the wheel as personal strength therapy. For me, it's really hard to give other people control, so this is a good card for a lot of people. Sometimes I allow others to take the wheel as personal strength therapy. I love this card. It's a chandelier, and it's like, it almost looks like an Edward Gorey. Like an Edward Gorey type of drawing. It has all these types of lines and things like that. So it's a chandelier, and it's a black and white, but then it has pink in it. There's all this pink highlight to the picture, and it's just so beautiful. And it says, each day I shine my unique and beautiful chandelier of kindness to every being I encounter. I'm going to say that one more time. Each day I shine my unique and beautiful chandelier of kindness to every being I encounter. So 42 cards in this deck, which ends up being really perfectly fit in there. Again, you're going to be looking in this mirror as you say the words and reflect on the picture, or you can just use the pictures and use this for an oracle deck, an intuitive oracle deck. So this one is quite funny. It's a woman, and she's reading a book, and the book says psychoanalysis, and then she's thrown some books behind, and they say Freud and other names, and she's sitting on a couch. My mental health is safe and sound. And it's talking about, like, not overanalyzing, am I sick, being, always, there's a lot of people that always are afraid that they're sick, or that their mental health isn't safe and sound. So my mental health is safe and sound, right? This one is a really beautiful old camera. I think this one came out of the 60s Playboy. When something amazing happens, I take a mental picture. Privacy is priceless. To me, I believe that if you take a picture on your telephone, that there's a huge lot of people that can see it. I don't think it's ever private. So to me, and for me, and like when you go on vacation, if you're always behind the camera or always have the record on, it's not as fun. And so I say, when something amazing happens, I take a mental picture. Privacy is priceless. Hello to all. I'm doing this reveal on the self-loving and positive affirmation law of attraction deck. And so I'm not able to say hi to everybody individually, but hello to all who are here. This one is an instant potato ad from the 50s or 60s. French's Instant Potatoes, and it says, I know I must put in quality to get quality. Nothing great was instant. I know I must put in quality to get quality. Nothing great was instant. This one's beautiful and amazing. It's a woman holding a cup of coffee, and it's being poured from above the picture. Again, these are all in that sparkle. The cup is always half full. Always! The cup is always half full. Always! So that means that you're always on that positive perspective. People who say the cup is half empty, it means that it's half gone. But if you say it's half full, it means you still have half. Yay! This is a beautiful black and white picture of a woman's eye. I really loved it. And it says, I place flame between my eye and a mirror to receive messages from my true and inner self. I think that that is a really good way to scry, is have a flame in between your eye and a mirror, and try your eyes, and try to keep locked in your own stare for as long as you can. If you do this, I've had some pretty wild and amazing results. And I talked to somebody who said that they did this, and they said that they saw themselves as an old Chinese man in the 1400s. So I think that you can actually perhaps see into past lives this way. So I'm going to say this again. It's just a picture of the eye, and it says, I place flame between my eye and a mirror to receive messages from my true and inner self. This one is a classic. It's an old vintage like bourbon or booze ad, and it's that sailing ship. If you see this ad, you'd go, I've seen that 1,000 times before. Or a lot of people have this picture of a ship with jewels on it in their bedroom. Very, very 60s, 70s, 50s types thing. I'm prepared for any voyage life may present, rocky or still. I'm prepared for any voyage life may present, rocky or still. This is a funny one. This is just an old, like, cat food ad, but the cat food can, the brand is called Begmore, B-E-G, Begmore. So it says, this is a Siamese cat, Begmore. And on the back it says, I work hard to earn my keep. Talking about not begging, right? I work hard to earn my keep. This is another one that came from that chandelier picture. I liked it so well, and it has pink within that black and white. And it says, to avoid conflict with other humans, I always step aside to cool off and think. She has a big fan. To avoid conflict with other humans, I always step aside to cool off and think. Now this Now this woman is dancing up a storm in like a flapper type dress, but it's the 60s obviously. Look at her hair. And it says, I dance for joy and to shake hands with my true self. I think that when you dance, your true and inner self starts to come out a little bit. So I dance for joy and to shake hands with my true self. And I love the way that these black and whites look against the pink sparkly. It just does look really nice. So again, if any of you guys want one of these custom decks, sometimes I put them in recipe boxes and it's vintage food or any topic you can think of. We put them in beautiful different things that can hold decks and make them really unique. They're one of a kind. They're just for you. And in my Etsy, you can message me there and we can make a deck just for you. Alright, this one is one of my favorites as well. It's a gentleman in front of a very nice car and got a bunch of red luggage, and it says, to avoid stress, I take mental holidays. To avoid stress, I take mental holidays. And that's just really talking about like taking time to like step away from what you're doing or take some meditation or like not be in that stressed moment, like step away from it if you need to. This one's good and fun. It is a couple that are tied together with some rope down here, and it says, commitment is something I always think long and hard about. Commitment is something I always think long and hard about. And then this one I cannot, it's nude, so I'll just cover her. And it says, I believe every part of my body is absolutely perfect. I believe every part of my body is absolutely perfect. And that is, I haven't counted them since I finished, but I believe all 42 cards of the 42 card deck. I've got many, many decks that are pre-made and on my Etsy shop, and then many that aren't even listed, like these Betty Page decks. Completely done, ready to go, 40 card deck. So yes, Gabby, I'm really excited that you get to have this, and I'm really excited that we started working on it because it's such a good idea, It's going to bring you so much of that positive vibration and attraction. You can use it 3 different ways, and then there's a big book that's handmade for you to put all of your notes into with dates and everything like that. There's 8 pages toward the back for notes and dates. So, yeah, these decks are anywhere between like $90 and $150 depending on how much time and supplies are put in. But, yeah, very well worth it because you'll have a one-of-a-kind deck. So, again, my Etsy and Patreon are down below. Go check those out, even if just for fun. And, Gabby, I'll be shipping out shipping this out as soon as the glue dries, and it should be tomorrow or the next day. So, very excited to get this to you. And, thanks, Lisa Lane. Appreciate it. How would you go about learning to trust your intuitive side? How would you go about learning to trust your intuitive side? Well, meditation generally would help. I don't know if you meditate. Talking with your spirit guides, giving offerings to deities or the earth or things like that. If you're giving offerings to the earth especially, or you're adding your DNA to the earth, you're going to know that you can trust your intuition so much better. Those are some just key ways to get it raised so that you can trust it. Otherwise, just literally, if you look at this card and the first word that comes to your head is divorce, that's your word. And so, know that this card is divorce. And if the first word that comes into your head is, and this one is like burlesque, then it's divorce, burlesque, and the first word here is whiskey. I don't know. You can put those words together. You can do intuitive reads however you want. Or we could, you could pull some reads and tell them to me and say, what do you think about this read? And I could let you know. But really, it's just trusting your intuition, working with your spirit guides and connecting with, or Mother Earth, Adding your DNA to the earth is just one of the quickest ways, in my opinion. So there's that, and we'll be coming on later. So we're doing a Patreon video next, and then we're going to do a video for someone who came on who's new here. And she is saying, I just found you, and we're talking about hoodoo stuff. And I want to shout her out real quick before I get off of the channel, because we're going to do like a what's in your dehydrator type thing, which we haven't done in a long time, but it's totally hoodoo. And if you're having a trouble, and so that was Tracy Coleman. She said, hi John, I just discovered you yesterday and you touched my spirit since I'm so new to hoodoo. And what we talk about a lot here is witchcraft, but we talk about hoodoo a lot on the early days of this channel, and I practice it all the time by using just what I've got. Literally using what I've got. Even when it comes down to like kitchen scraps. So we're going to talk about that after I do a Patreon video, and we just got a lot going on today. I'm getting back into doing the Patreon videos, so anybody who wants to join, will I still make the pop-up video on Patreon? Yeah, let me write that down, because I'm taking, does anybody else have video requests? Because I'm taking video requests. So, pop-up video. What are the specific questions, though, Gabby? Like, do you just want to know, like, the basics on how to make a poppet, or how I do it myself, or, on YouTube I can read out of my poppet book, but on Patreon I can't read out of a book. So maybe on YouTube we'll read from the book, poppet book. And then on Patreon, we'll do a video of how we actually do it. Does that make sense? Doesn't that sound like it'll be good? How to use pins especially? Okay, so use of pins. And then also we need to talk about, the repercussions of using pins, and is it justified, and all that kind of stuff. So we'll bring up the topic of is it justified. Any other video requests from anyone? Hey, Ikale, how are you? Nice to see you. What did Comedic Witch say? Maybe spiritual water and their differences. Sure, let's talk about spiritual water and their differences. I was just thinking about some new ones like dew. We never really talked about dew much. And I even have like Catholic holy water, Peruvian holy water. You know, you can make your own holy water or blessed water by putting it on your spiritual altar. And, but yeah, we'll definitely talk about all different kinds of, and then, you know, rainwater, snow water, all the different waters. I've done a video. If you search Taxidermy Witch waters, you'll find a video where we've talked about it, but we'll do another one where we're talking about it just from my mouth and not from reading a book. What else? Any other good ideas for videos? Ikale, do you have any good ideas for videos? Hoodoo is a folk magic. Yes, we talk about folk magic here a lot as well. Hey, Lunar Ascension, nice to see ya. Hey, thanks, Lisa Lane. You're the best. One-legged witchy woman. Hey, finally caught you live. It's been a while. It's been a while. Yes, so it's really good to see everybody. Spiritual protection, absolutely. The rustic hippie witch. Hello and welcome. I think we have the same hair color, but yours is yours is a little pinker than mine. Okay, so spiritual protection. That was from Zabora. Zabora, how do I spell your name? Is it Zabora? I'm not the best with spelling. And then Ikale said spiritual protection. Yeah. That's a really good topic because, you know, it's getting to the time of year where a lot of us that are into occult stuff like to go out to like the graveyards now that it's the time where not a lot of people are out there. Like, so if we're going to collect our like special dirts or special whatever, we tend to do it more when there's not a ton of people out. And where I live in the summertime, everybody's out at everywhere all the time. So if you want privacy in places, I tend to really wait till this time of year. And we definitely need spiritual protection in the graveyard. Another video I'm going to be doing too is I got all these teeny tiny mini clothespins. I got them for like $1 at the thrift shop. And I'm going to make a teeny indoor clothesline for this little place. So that will be super fun. What did the other realm say? Jen, what is the meaning of the tattoo symbol? Oh, this is Om. Yeah, O-M. Or O-H-M. Or A-U-M. Om. Have you ever done anything on elemental magic? I'm not on it. Have I done anything on elemental magic? No, I haven't. I don't really practice it too much, but we can definitely talk about it. It's a good topic. So that's from Lunar Ascension. Pop-up video, these are from Gabby. Okay, anybody else have video requests? And if you see this video and it's after we're live, still put your video request down below, because I'd love to get as many of them done as possible. I'm here to provide what you guys want, and I need more people to join up on Patreon because we can get those exclusive videos for as little as $1 a month, and I have all different kinds of levels, but as little as $1 a month. So thank you for those of you who are here support, like Ikale and Gabby and so many of you that are here, Joyce Jordan, and I really appreciate it because right now it's the only thing that's keeping me going. Love you guys all so much. We're going to see each other later tonight again for another live video, as well as at least one Patreon video uploaded today, and we had one uploaded yesterday as well. So we'll see you guys super soon. Loving this deck, loving you guys. Have super fun. Kiss, kiss, talk.